taken from a news clipping. So hopefully you can see that it's a butcher block, and this is the saw, lever, and then the head here. I'm trying to track this painting down, so if any of you have seen it, let me know. I would be very excited. So that's one, so don't forget this one. And then the other is this painting here, which is, come on, it's awesome. Like, I have to find this painting. So, if any of you see this in the valley, I'm sure it's squirreled away somewhere here. That would be wonderful to know. So now you're all art historian researchers. We're in this together, okay?
Maybe Picasso's family has it.
Maybe we need to do a research trip to find that out. So, in closing, I want to remind you that the reception is on July 12th, 5:30 to 7:30. Make sure you all come. We're still in the throes of doing a lot of the research. I'm hanging out with Cherie a lot and talking to her on the phone every day. And we're also still in the process of fundraising. The museum really relies on philanthropic donations from private individuals. And this exhibition is $75,000, so we're still working towards that goal. But in the meantime, I hope that you will all be very excited about this forthcoming show and that you will come and see me on July 12th because I'll be waiting for all of you. Now I want to turn this over to question and answers, and for that I feel like I have to bring up Cherie Peake. Not only do I need to thank her for being an amazing steward of the Channing Peake legacy, because she is, and so welcoming and so generous. Thank you, Cherie. But she's also an expert on Channing, so we need her up here. So Cherie, come on up.
I forgot to say, today is really for Cherie, that I wanted to do this for her because she does so much in the Valley and so much in the art world, and we all, us who appreciate art, appreciate all the hard work that she does.
Oh, thank you.
So we are open for questions if anybody has any burning desire to know more. Yes.
Yeah, Cherie, when did Channing begin to do his work, began to become an artist?
He said he used to draw on the sidewalk when he was in grammar school. But when he was in high school, he was lucky to have as his teacher a woman that became famous for photographing Martha Graham. Her name was Barbara Morgan. And she submitted his work for a scholarship. And he won to the School of Arts and Crafts in Oakland, the one for Southern California, and Campbell Grant won the one for Northern California. So that was the beginning. He was playing football, and he was surprised when he was called up. He'd won the scholarship because she'd submitted his work. She believed in him. Does that answer? Okay.
It does. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Did he go off on his own after a certain point in time, or did he continue his art education for a while?
He also had a scholarship to the Santa Barbara School of the Arts after that, and then he went to the Art Students League in New York. He went to Mexico and worked on a mural with Diego Rivera in the National Palace. He was a student of Rivera's and worked on a piece of the mural there, and then on to the Art Students League in New York. And he especially was attracted to Rico Lebrun, the draftsman. And Rico ended up out here in California, was a illustrator for Disney and a teacher, and yeah. So.
But he came out because of Channing.
Yeah, he did. That's right. He did. He came west. Channing came west, and then Rico followed him out here. Yeah.
Finally, when did he become a cowboy?
Oh, well, Tootie could probably answer that better. He said he wrote as a child, but I think probably they had driftwood. They bought a ranch in Channing and his first wife Katie, Tootie's mother, bought a ranch in 1939 in the San Ynez Valley, and then they found driftwood, and he was the foundation sire. So since from the 30s, he was a cowboy.
So did Picasso introduce Channing to his circle in Europe? relationship between the two?
Well, they had the same art dealer, Frank Pearls, and Frank Pearls took, Channing went to Europe with Frank Pearls, and he met Picasso, and he said, usually your hero has feet of clay, but Picasso didn't. So that was their first meeting. And Channing put the Stetson on his head, and Picasso gave him a little bowl, a ceramic bowl, and signed it to Channing. So, yeah, that's how the relationship started, through Frank Pearls.
Do you still have the bowl?
No, I don't. Katie?
Was Channing ever officially a student of Picasso's?
No, no, not a student, but he admired him, and Channing loved Cubism, and Picasso was the father of Cubism, so, he said he met his hero.
How do you meet
Jim?
Frank Pearls? We've talked about this.
Oh,
That's a good.
yeah, it is. Frank Pearls saw Channing's work at the LA County Museum, and he found Channing, and Channing said that was pretty unusual for a dealer to come to the artist. He loved Channing's work, so he asked if he could represent him. And Frank Pearls' parents had been Picasso's dealers in Paris, so Frank Pearls was Picasso's dealer, but first Frank Pearls' parents had been Picasso's dealers there.
Did Channing ever talk to you at length about the intellectual inspiration for the type of work that he did?
When we talk about art, that's a good question, and I think he was inspired by nature and by the land, and he was a modernist. So he was, from his period of time, I would say. Bruce would probably know more about that, and Elise, yeah. But he loved the land and the life he lived as a rancher and a cowboy. Did that answer your question?
It does indeed.
Okay.
Does the Katie's family, were they already into ranching? Was that something that
No.
the Schott girls grew up doing?
No.
So it was mostly driven by Channing's.
I think Channing and Katie together, they love horses, and so that's the beginning of it. Yeah. Demi?
I think Katie's sister, Helen Pedotti, directed towards that property on Santa Rosa Road.
I think Channing and Katie were there first.
They
Yeah.
were.
Yeah, Channing and Katie were there first, yeah. Anyway, okay. Hi, Si.
In Bobby Isaacson's book, Cattle Upon 1,000 Hills,
It's right over there.
I know he's not here, but anyway, there's some pictures in there of Channing roping. I can remember one in a corral, and he dally ropes, Artists usually don't dally rope, I mean, they get their fingers and their hands tied up. How do you explain how he was so?
He was athletic, and he loved roping, and they had when they roped, they had a header and a heeler, and he was the heeler, and that's the harder part, to get the heels, right, Bill? It's easier to get the horns, but the heels are more difficult. And he wanted Salinas, so he was a good hand, yeah.
But I think your point, your comment is great in that it fully exemplifies how devoted Channing was to both of these worlds, both art but also ranching. And he truly loved both of those worlds, and bringing them together through his art seemed very natural, it seems to me.